everybody, it's your girl Her to You, and this is the Vendor Tales with the Healing Brand with Her. So I wanted to come on and recap the event from yesterday, which was the Vibe and Shop event. It was hosted by Boss Up Events, and then the location was at Brewdog ATL. So I wrote some notes. So let's start off with this. So there were good and bad things about this event, which was a learning experience. But overall, I had a good time, and I'm glad I made certain decisions that I made prior to. You know what I'm saying? So that was good. So that helped me out a whole lot. So let's start off with the event, like I said, was at Brewdog ATL. I personally didn't know where the location was. So I guess one thing to know is know where you're going. I guess, before the event, know where that location is. So I just knew it was somewhere in Atlanta, and I didn't know where it was at. So if I'll say this. Once I got there and I saw the location, I was excited about the location, but I still was like, oh, I don't know about this. You know what I'm saying? So, and I'll kind of explain that as I go, as we get more into it. So, the location was a very nice location. I'm not gonna lie. It was a very nice location. It was outside, but we were in a covered space. It was a nice day. It wasn't raining. It felt cool. The wind was kind of blowing. So one thing, in my display, I have a spot where I put up my prices, but because the wind was blowing, and I usually bring tape, so that was my first thing. I didn't bring tape, and if I had brought tape, then that it would have looked better. But I had to put my pricing on my table, which that's not a good thing, like flat on the table. But it was in big enough words. It was big enough to where people could see it, but still. The unloading and loading was easy, and I'm so glad, because that would have been difficult, especially with it being downtown, especially being on the belt line. That'd have been ridiculous to be unloading all that stuff. And then how early it was. It wasn't, you know how busy Beltline gets, so it wasn't busy at all. So that was great. The timing was perfect for us to get there. I happened to get there an hour early from the setup. So the setup time was at 11. I got there at 10. Really, I got there 9:50. And I just waited for the host to come. The manager at the Brewdog, she was nice, because I thought she was the host, because I hadn't met the host at this point. This is my first time doing a Boss Up event. So the manager at Brewdog was cool. I can't remember her name. I'm super bad with names as we go, so we'll see that. But there is a name that I'm gonna super remember. So she was super cool, and she let me know who the host was. She said Chanel, and I hope I'm saying that. I hope I'm saying her name right, if that's her name. But so I was like, okay, cool. So I was like, you know what? I should probably start, after she told me where the event was gonna be at. I was like, you know what? Maybe I should start unloading. That way I can find, because I had drove around and I found, because they gave you a list, which is good. They give you, before the event, Chanel, the host, or whoever it may be, but with Boss Up Events, they gave you very detailed instructions on free parking or where to park, whatever. So I'm like, okay, cool. So I had drove around, because I had got there super early. I had drove around and found those, because me and directions, me and streets, me and anything with a map is ridiculous. So I happened to find the streets, and I seen some parking. I was like, cool, I'm gonna park here once we unload, and then I'll just go and get the car when it's time or whatever. So yeah. So even though I came early, I did not capitalize on me coming early, and I'm gonna explain that. So when I was going to the car to get unloaded, the host came. The girl Chanel came. She was super pleasant, real cool, real chill, like real chill back. And she let me pick out my spot. So this is my first mistake. So I had chose like 3 different spots before I chose a spot based on someone else's. Actually, no, I'm lying. I chose that spot because it had more lighting. Like the other spot that I had chose, which was it was like kind of dark, right? But I had chose that spot. In what happened? I could have been on the actual belt line, and I'm not usually asked questions galore, right? I'm Miss 21 questions, but I didn't think that we could be on the belt line, so I didn't even ask. But if I would have been thinking, dude, I would have been on the belt line. So if I was to ever do this event again, and we'll discuss that later on, if I was ever to do the event again, I'm getting on a belt line. You know what I'm saying? That's where I'll be. So I chose my spot, and my spot was across from this ice cream place, right? And that does play a part. So so this is ice cream spot, and then there's like two tables, and then there's a walking space, and then it was where I was at, right? And then the backdrop to where the brew dog was cute. So I was like, oh, that would be cute for aesthetics and pictures and blah 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 blah. Okay, which anyways, so we began to set up and unload. So that went smoothly. So what I was saying was, in preparation, like I usually do these events by myself, but something told me for this next event that I needed help. And so that's why I enlisted my daughter, like, yeah, you're going to have to come and help me, which she's going to help me for this next event too. That's going to be this coming weekend with Boss Up as well. And so I'm so glad I did, because y'all, I would have been struggling. I'd have been struggling. So I will say that, like, if you have a lot of inventory, or you just have a lot of stuff to set up, it would be better for you either to show up super early, or to actually have someone help you. Now, I will say this though, like, showing up on time or showing up early is super crucial to these pop-up shops, because one, either they already have kind of your spot kind of already assigned, and I have had that before, where they already knew where you were going to be based on what everybody else was selling. But at this one, you could choose your spot. And she kind of, like, when I had chose my spot, she told me like kind of what the next person was selling that had chose another spot, so then I kind of knew what I was around. But people that were showing up late, let me tell you something, where their tables were, baby, I'd have left. And a couple did, I ain't gonna hold you, but that's really because they didn't show up on time. Like, they didn't show up on time, and that was like no fault of really the vendor. But because if you would have showed up on time, you wouldn't even have chosen that. Like, not only because it was like the visibility was really none. I wouldn't even have wanted to be over there. I would have chose to be at the bottom. Like, there was like you could have been, there was like several different locations that you could have been. So it was a wide range of what you could have had done if you had showed up on time. So that is super important. Show up on time, especially if you're paying. This is a paid event, like, that you're paying for to vend. So you need to make sure that you're there on time. You need to make sure that you pick a good spot, which I did but didn't. and showed up an hour early. Oof. So yeah, that's that. Mm, what else? And if y'all hear this beeping noise, let me tell y'all, it is not the fire whatever thingy. It's my, what is it? It's my alarm, actually. It's my home alarm. We knocked over one of the sensors, and so it's telling us to check it out, but I haven't done it. Anyways, let me see. So that was one. Please show up on time so you can get a good spot. Okay, so I wanted to talk about Jaden real quick. So my daughter Jaden, she did an amazing job. Like, she did a really good job with unloading and helping me out. She did a good job um with getting people to come over to our table. She really started selling. The only thing I got to work on, my daughter, these teenagers, is they face. Her face be like, I'm like, girl, you cannot look you cannot look like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? You can't look like that. And I'll be trying to tell her, because she's in the process of really trying to find her a job and stuff. So I'm like, girl, if you were at a job, like, is that how you're gonna be looking at the customers? Like, I don't know why they got that face. Like, so I had to a couple times, like, face girl, what are you doing? Like, you look so beautiful when you smile. So, and she has a way of drawing people in. So I thought that was super dope, like how she helped. And she was, y'all, let me tell y'all something, because I talked about her, man, these couple videos about her not wanting to help and her dipping out on me to go to her grandma's house so she would have to help me. But she loved it. Like, she really liked it. She was excited about it. And then, like, when we got home, she was like, oh, I can't wait for the next weekend. She was like, can we coordinate? Because we coordinated our shirts on accident. Actually, this happened by happenstance. And so when we took that picture, which I'll have up, when we took that picture, it was just like a perfect picture. It was super cute. I was like, ooh, like, we did that. And so that is one thing I am really working on too, is because, like I said, when I worked in hospitality for a little bit, for a short time, when I took a little part-time at this hotel, like, I really did like kind of that uniform look. So I'm trying to figure out something. I'm trying to figure out like an outfit that I could really just wear at the pop-ups so that it just looks uniformed. It just looks uniformed, and then people start putting recognition to it. Like, oh, I know what that is, or I know what, you know what I mean? And when I get my own store, you know what I mean? But yeah, so what else? So she was great. So I'm definitely excited to have her at any future events. Like, she really did her thing, and it sparked like an entrepreneur spirit in her, which she, I'm really in her office space in real life, because she is working on something. And so I support her I support her like crazy. But yeah, so that sparked her with some ideas of what she wants to start doing for herself, and being even at the pop-up shop. So I'm like, cool, that would be dope to have us both there doing our thing. So yeah. What else? Let me think. Oh, let me go to my notes. Okay, so let's talk about, so let's get into some not bad things, right? So we're gonna kind of bounce around. So the not so great things, right, was, one, the fact that I didn't pick out the right location. Even though I did good at the location that I was at. I did good at the location that I was at, but also the second bad thing is that I didn't make my quota. I didn't make what I had planned for. I didn't make it. So then I had these next two pop-up shops. I gotta work a little harder. You know what I'm saying? I gotta kind of do a little bit more selling, because, there's a quota I want to make at all three if I plan on doing Because I just really want to do like one, or going forward, I just want to do like 1 or 2 a month. But I plan on having 3, so I want to make it worth my while. You know what I'm saying? That I done sold up all of my weekends for the month. So yeah, so I didn't do that. And I definitely think it was primarily the location. And then not only that, it just started getting too busy. Like it started getting too busy, and they wasn't there for the event. They was there for they were doing a bar crawl, and they were looking cute. Like they was looking cute. They was looking super cute. So like, you know, us girls, I'm not trying to be funny, but y'all know if we looking cute, you don't want to have extra things with you, because baby, we trying to have drinks, we trying to eat, we trying to do, and I ain't got time to be having these shopping bags on me. I did not come here for that. You know what I'm saying? So that's what it was giving. Like that's what it gave at the end. But it's so crazy because once I started packing up, and I was like, oh, because everybody was like, oh, well, we'll come back around. But once it was like, no, we're about to start packing up. Then they was like, okay, yeah, let me get this. So at the end, I really started making more money because I was packing up. You know what I mean? But and then it just, because it got entirely too busy. And so like I said, with the, let me see an example. So like if this was the ice cream place, and then this was the tables, and then this was me. So like they would come and they would go this way and then go into the ice cream place. So a lot of people were kind of, you know how like when you're in traffic, or no, when you're driving down the street, and if a car goes around something, you don't know what they're going around, so you're going to do the same thing that they're doing. So that's what the crowd was doing. I was like, oh my God, like they're going around. So I peeped that out. So I was like, dang, but you know, but Jaden was like, girl, y'all, Jaden was working. So yeah, so that was good. So that was the only thing though. So those are the only 2 things. Was 1, I didn't hit my quota. 2, even though I showed up super early, I low-key did not pick the right location. But I will say this. That did not discourage me from working with this host, with Boss Up Events. The way that Chanel, and I hope I'm saying her name right, but the way that Chanel did her thing as far as just capturing stuff, because that's another thing. Well, the third thing was that I didn't get enough footage. And I went live on Instagram, and I recorded some stuff, but then I didn't save it, y'all. So that sucks, because there were some people that I really wanted to shout out. Yeah, but it didn't discourage me, because the next one, especially for the fee of the event, to be in that location, and I think the next one is like at Ponce, around Ponce. If anyone knows that, like those are some good locations, and the pop-ups or anything for those are super expensive. So for them to have it for that, you know, for that type of fee, like, okay, cool. We can see how this is gonna go. It's something that I would take a risk on. I would, because it's so crazy, because a couple things that I've just said that I wanted to do, or locations I wanted to be at, I'm being there. Like in the next, I'm about, you know, this one on the Beltline that I did not know about, I got to do that one again. The one in Ponce, I'm definitely going to get there early again, so I can see what's cracking. And then another one further down the line, so we'll get there when we get there. I'll come back, you know, and do a vendor tales on that one too, and let y'all know. No, it didn't discourage me. And then not only that, they do events in Florida and Texas, and I would love to travel, you know what I'm saying, to do an event just to see how it hits, you know what I'm saying, in different places. That was the thing that I spoke to. So the fact that they do events in, I think they do events primarily in Florida, and then they just do Atlanta. Like people travel. She told me that people travel from Atlanta to Florida. And so that's what made them do events in Atlanta. Like I definitely would, like that's on my bucket list. And just the communication, like anytime I reached out to her or anytime I reached out to that page, I'm not sure who was responding, if it was Chanel, but they were responsive. She even was like, "Oh yeah, I remember you. You the one that be posting, like, just that, you know, just appreciation or just that customer service, that great customer service. I'm definitely down with that because that's a trust that I could, that's something that I could trust. Like, okay, cool. What else? There was some. Oh, y'all. Let me tell you something. So one thing I do is I introduce myself to all of the vendors. I speak. I see what they got going on, and there was this girl, and that was the one that I recorded. There was this guy too. He was hilarious. His name was Spencer, and he was such Valley Boy, and it was hilarious. He was such preppy, and he had like these they look like folding chairs, but it was for your neck on the beach and stuff like that. And it made me think of my daughter's godmom. Like, oh, she would love this. But he was super cool. I know he looked, oh my God, I know he felt out of place, and it was his location too. If he would have showed up early and got a good location, he would have killed. He would have killed, but it was his location. I can't say if he didn't kill, but he already, just based on some of the crowd and just how they were maneuvering and shaking, like he would have did his thing. There was this girl, she had a candle company, but her aesthetics was fire. And I don't have any footage. I don't have no footage. And because it was just so busy. It started to get so busy, like, and you knew you had to work this crowd. I ain't gonna lie. This was the hardest I've worked. Like, you had to work this crowd. Let me see. I don't have her on here. Let me try to go to mine, because her aesthetics was fire. Fire. Dope. Nope, I don't have her on here. I don't have her on here. Dang, I gotta try to find her, because her aesthetics, like her setup was fire. And then I don't have the other girl. And there was another girl, she sold like thick, like it was like thick chick or something like that. Like, like when your thighs is rubbing, or, you're sweating up on your chest. She sold things for that. And so her aesthetic was cute. Her aesthetic was dope too. I appreciated that too. And she had on like a cute little dress that matched her setup. It was dope. It was super dope. So those were like the best, setups. Like, if I was shopping, I'm stopping, because what do you got going on, girl? Like, what is this? Especially the one that had the candles, the candle lady. Because it was like an all black matte. It was just real cute and sexy, and it was all the same thing. So it was dope. It was super dope. And I could just see that people just buying it because it fits the aesthetic of their home. Like, yeah, this is fresh. It's clean. And anybody, men, women, the office, it could go so many different places because it just looks and sleek. It just looks good. So I cannot believe I don't have her information, because I normally don't do that. But I didn't get really no good footage. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't. Even with J Baby there, I didn't get no good footage, really. Not as much as I should have. Especially since it was a cute, like, I could have got all type of pictures, but I didn't. Because I had to work. And then Old Girls was the second. Was super dope. So there was another girl I met. Her name was Mercedes. I remember her name. Her name was Mercedes, and her company is called Seven and Boulevard. It's a candle company, And she had cups too. So, but she was the dopest. She was the dopest. Like sometimes these events are always networking. Like you're always gonna you're always gonna network if you move around. Like one thing I do is I move around. I introduce myself. I move around. You'll notice when you're doing these pop-ups that a lot of people don't. They just stay where they're at. You know what I'm saying? And I don't be tripping. Like I don't trip at all. Like there was this guy who Jaden met, and she was like, "Oh, he wanted you to come over there and try his cakes." Or it was his girlfriend's cakes, but I couldn't get over there. It was really big. It was really busy, y'all. And then y'all, I wore the wrong shoes, and my feet was hurting. So I had to take my shoes off, and I was behind the table because I was like, "Oh, baby, I'm not moving." So that was another thing. So, well, he helped us like put the stuff in the car. Like when we were loading, he helped us put this when we were loading the car back. After the event, he was helping us, and he was like, "Y'all were so nice because these other vendors be," and I'm like, you can't really, you got to take it with a grain of salt. Like these people are out here, you don't know, they out here for their business. You know what I'm saying? So they might not have time. They might not want to be friendly. You know what I'm saying? So I don't take it no type of way. I vibe with whoever I vibe with, and I leave it at that. You know what I'm saying? Because there's never not an event that I don't meet somebody that I vibe with. It would be a whole lot to vibe with everybody and still be trying to sell. So I don't be doing no tripping. So, and I don't even give that no attention. I don't give that an attention or energy because it is what it is. Who I'm supposed to meet is who I'm supposed to meet. And it was Mercedes for me. And it's so funny because that's my little sister's name. So that's how we started off, right? And so, she was dope. She was super, super dope. And she was giving me all type of tips. Like we were really like we swapped products. Like I got one of her candles. Oh, one of my favorite scents. I gave them books and stuff. Like her sister came and she does like she's into health, eating healthy, drinking healthy, into fitness and stuff like that. So she had these green drinks, and I love green drinks. So she gave me one of those. We chopped it up. We chopped it up, exchanged information. So Pinky promise, hopefully we'll be able to really keep in touch because that is just what she's into, what she's doing is something that I want to get into. And then just having someone that's in your same circle that you can talk to about what your vending or your business or what you got going on, like-minded is always a benefit. You know what I'm saying? And she was dope. So her name was Mercedes. Her company is called 7 in Boulevard. And so let me make sure I'm not saying 7 let me see, because I want to make sure it's right. And I am going to tag her because, I want you all to support. Yep, 7 in Boulevard. 7 in Boulevard. So yeah, y'all gonna have to check her. Yeah, check her out. Because when I tell y'all, I love genuine people. I love genuine people. And matter of fact, Mercedes was 7 in Boulevard. I gotta find this other candle lady. She was dope, and her energy was dope. And that thick chick, the one that was so thick, she was cool. She was super cool too. So yeah. So that's it on that. I'm gonna go through my footage and try to attach some at the end, but I'm a little disappointed that I didn't, because usually I like to, let y'all know who was all there, especially that part, especially them, definitely, I didn't take pictures of 7 stuff, which is crazy, because I usually do all of that. I did take a video of, I took a picture of, I did, it's on my iPad. I took a picture of the thick chick stuff, so I'm gonna post that. I'm gonna have that on there, so y'all gonna have to just continue watching the video, so you can see the stuff that I do have. And I might surprise myself. I might have more footage. Maybe Jaden got more stuff than I did, because I kind of told her that that's what she needed to do, but then she took over selling, so I can't stop her from selling. Other than that, so the summary is, will I do the event again? Yes. Yes, I will do the event again. No. Let me say this. I will do a boss up event again. Will I do this one again? I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I would do this one with the things that I'm coming, like some of the stuff that I'm coming out with next. I will do. Yeah, I'm tripping. I will do this event again. With what I have coming up in the future, I will do it. The thing is that, right, my brand is FUBU's, for us by us, you know what I'm saying? And so sometimes, even though other races do definitely support and they spend, like I have been in a lot of situations where uh they have become my target customer, but at the same time, you know what I'm saying, like the healing brand with her, and I'm gonna make videos where I'm gonna truly explain what my brand is, what it is, what my products are specifically for, because there are, you know, they have intentions, it's all tied up. And being able to truly explain that, I need to put that out on video and tag it to my pages and stuff so that people can get an understanding. Because once they get an understanding, like I be getting poured into, people be crying, like they really believe in my dream and my vision and stuff like that. And so then it sells itself, you know what I'm saying? But you know, yeah. So, you know, I have to be in spaces where I can get to us, you know. The healing is for everybody, you know what I mean? But for my Black women, you know what I'm saying? Because it's something that, you know, it's me. So what looks, I love us for real. Like I do love us for real, even though Black women, they get on my whole nerves, but I'm still, I'm still a ride or die. I ain't gonna talk about y'all too much. You know what I'm saying? I still love us for real. Like I'm always gonna love us despite any situations that I encounter. So, but I do understand that and I've noticed, right, that with doing these pop-up shops, it has been reaching all different type of people. And so the core of it isn't going to change because the core of it is me, right? I am a Black woman, you know what I'm saying? And I know what we need. Like, I know what goes on with us. I know how much we need to heal from our past, from our trauma, and, how we know that ain't nobody coming to save us. So we got to save ourselves, right? So the core of it is definitely not going to change. But if they support, they support. You know what I'm saying? Because the healing is for everybody. Healing over any type of trauma in your life, it is a human thing. You know what I mean? But my niche is Black women. You know what I'm saying? That is who, my calling is for. So anybody can participate. You know what I'm saying? Just like and everything else. You know what I'm saying? It be catered in one direction, but we still buy into it. So, yeah, that's that. So I do need to work on other videos to kind of, explain what the healing brand with her is and how the products and stuff correlate to that messaging. So other than that, and that was it. I don't have to do nothing, y'all. So like everybody keeps asking, I keep getting all these questions about, okay, so when you gonna work on you or when you gonna do you? I am gonna do me this whole week up until probably like Friday. But pretty much I have everything. I prepped for all three of these pop-up shops. For 2 weeks, I worked my butt off. I prepped for every single one of them. So I have enough of enough of enough. And so I'm about to take my time. I got to get back in the gym, y'all. Like I got to get back in the gym because these pop-ups be kicking my ass. And then not only that, just mentally, I need it mentally. So that is it. That is all for Vendor Tales. Y'all go check out Boss Up events. They were great. Like I'm not even gonna hold you. It was cool. It was dope. Get there early. Get a good spot. I met vendors who have done the same event 5 times, like have several times. So obviously they had a great experience. Mine's is my fault. Like it is not no fault of Boss Up. Mine's is my own personal fault. So I learned my lesson. And then two, yeah, no, I think that's it. I think that's it. So, oh, two, you're gonna need some help. So that is it for vendor tales. You know, stay so you can get some footage of what I have for the event. I can't even tell you because I haven't looked through it yet. But anyways, have a good day, have a good one, and stay tuned for the next event, which is on the 23rd. It is Girl Gang. It's a Girl Gang event. It's highlighting women, small business owners. So yeah, we'll be in the building. The Healing Brand with Her will be in the building, and